Welcome back to the Eagle Sports Coaches Show. JT Webb joined now by head softball coach David Williams. And coach, it's almost time you open up this week with your non-conference schedule at Auburn with the Plainsman invite. Just go through your first couple of games there.
Tough draw the first weekend. We got 3 teams that were top 65 RPI last year in our first 5 games there. North Dakota State, regional team last year. I think they were ranked somewhere around 62 RPI. Summit League champs. Did a really good job. So that's going to be a tough opponent there. They're always pretty competitive. And then obviously you got Auburn, who's in the SEC. Just by being in the SEC, your RPI is going to be through the roof. Really probably the toughest conference in college softball at this point. Brand new coach, came from Arizona State, had a lot of success there, won a couple national championships. So you know they're going to be ready to go. They're going to be really technical, fundamental, and aggressive. Then you got Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a great team all around on paper. They're moving into the ACC. I think that they probably would have a legitimate shot at winning the ACC this year. But really complete team from pitching to offense to defense. Probably one of the most complete teams that we've played in my time here.
Now let's talk about your team a little bit. You have some good pieces coming back from a ball club that was 24 and 25 last year. You were really starting to get over the hump and hit 311, led the league in that category. Just go through what you've seen in practice that you've liked so far.
You know, we're kind of a young team this year in a way because we did lose so many people from last year, but it's a good young. They're a little fearless. You know, one of the great things about this group is they come work hard every day. They want to get better, and I think they all want to be on the field. So it's created a little bit of competition. Great atmosphere in practice. You know, the offensive end of it, we did really well last year. I think we can be just as successful offensively this year. A lot of players that really worked hard on their hitting and have developed, and had some kids last year that were great hitters, just didn't get as many chances as you would have liked to have gotten them because of some of the lineup situations. But I really think that that's going to be a strength for us, and I really think our defense is going to be really strong as well.
And now let's go through your pitching a bit. You have 2 coming back there and also some newcomers. What should we look for there?
Well, you know, I would say at this point the top, you know, newcomers, there's only 2 really, but Megan Tamoric and Tana Cipher. They're new to the program. They should bring a lot of enthusiasm and hopefully some consistency in the circle. Kelsey McMurray, I think, threw the 2nd most innings for us last year, and she's a returner, so she's obviously the most seasoned returner we have. And Greta Smines threw some last year as well. But, you know, really we need to have a proven pitcher at this point. We've got 2 returners. Neither one were #1 last year if we talk about innings thrown. And then we've got 2 new pitchers. So at this point we have an unproven pitching staff. Really just looking for them to go out and prove themselves. Defense play behind them, and if the pitchers can keep us in the games, I feel like we can provide them the run support they need for us to win.
Who are some of those newcomers that our viewers should look out for this year as far as the position players go?
You know, I think you know, when we look at some of the newcomers, we just talked about the 2 pitchers, you know, Megan Tamoric and Tana Cipher, and both of them may actually see action in the offensive lineup as well. They can swing the bats, and both have a lot of power. So they may wind up being offensive threats as well as in the circle. But Kayla McGuffey is a freshman for us. She is most likely going to be in center field, probably bat leadoff for us. She is really quick, gets on the bases, kind of causes a little bit of trouble. Did a great job. She actually led our team in batting average this fall. Did a tremendous job at the top of the order. And then Carly Thompson is another freshman who I think can really prove to be an offensive factor for us. So, you know, when we look at some of those newcomers, I would say right now those 4 stand out the most as far as the newcomers and can really help us.
Coach, thank you very much for your time. We wish you all the best this weekend.
All right, thank you.
That was head softball coach David Williams. We'll be back with more. This is the Eagle Sports Coaches Show.